Good morning, guys. We are going to review adjectives and adverbs today. So we're going to start with adjectives, and as you can see here, we have our Shirley jingle. So let's follow along to remind ourselves what questions adjectives ask. If modifies a noun or a verb, adjective asks what kind. All right, so that was a fun way to get started this morning. Get on your feet and identify an adjective. So we're going to take a look at some sentences today. We know when we classify, we are asking ourselves these questions, but we are also going to identify with ADJ for our adjectives. So take a look at your sentences here. These are the sentences that we did yesterday with our nouns, and I've added some words here, so we'll talk about those as we go. So our first sentence says, my big brother asked me to turn on the small lamp. So looking at that sentence, you can see that I have the nouns are in bold prints there, and we are going to talk about the adjectives that we see. So we know that adjectives answer a question about a noun that tells which one, what kind, or how many. So if we take a look at our first one, brother is our noun. We know brother is a person, and so we want to find the adjective for brother. So yes, your adjective is big, and it tells which one. So which brother? My big brother. And our second noun in our sentence is lamp. We know that is the object of the preposition, and we see that word small. It tells us which one, the small lamp. So sometimes we get kind of confused with adjectives or adverbs. Sometimes we get confused with our prepositional phrases, which one word is the opposite of the preposition. So if we always remember our object of the preposition is our noun, then we know that small tells which one or what kind of lamp, and that is small. So those questions that we just talked about on our jingle, they're so very important when our sentences get longer, more detailed, and complicated. We can ask ourselves these questions to help us figure out the parts of speech. Our second sentence, the purple and blue cup belongs to my little sister. So notice cup is highlighted, and that is our noun. So we want to say which one. So this noun has two adverbs, purple and blue. Those are color words, and they describe the cup. Our second noun in our sentence is sister, is again the object of the preposition, and we see that word little. Which sister? My little sister. Your third sentence says, the gray kitten is sleeping in the soft bed. So our first noun here is kitten. It's our subject noun. Again, we see a color word. It describes the kitten. It tells which one. The gray kitten is our adjective. Our second noun in our sentence is the word bed. We know it's a thing. It's our object of the preposition. And which bed? The soft bed. So soft is our adjective here. My favorite book is The Three Bears. So we have book highlighted there as our subject noun. Which book? My favorite book. So favorite is our adjective telling us which book. I see another adjective here. Can you find the other adjective? Yeah, our other adjective is the number 3. How many? How many bears? 3 bears. So bears could be highlighted as well as a noun in our title of our book. So 3 would be our adjective there. Our last sentence says, the beautiful tree is blooming in my yard. We see tree is one of our nouns here that's highlighted, and beautiful tells us which tree. We also have the noun yard in our sentence, but we do not have an adjective. We don't always have an adjective to go with our nouns, but we do want to recognize that yard is a noun. It's our object of the preposition there. Now we see our sentence that we viewed yesterday. Yesterday we identified our nouns, kids, and music. And we also identified our verb, which was jam. Today we see our adjective. 3 is highlighted there. How many kids? 3 kids. Can you think of an adjective to describe the music? They did not include an adjective here, but we can always add in. So I'm thinking to the loud music. Loud would be one. It may not exactly sound right since we already have loudly. So let me try to think of another one. We could say to the fun music, to the rock music. Any kind of adjective there to make sense to describe the music. Now let's take a look at our pictures here. We see some fun pictures and they want us to describe it. So we're going to write an adjective, we're going to write an adjective to describe each noun. So let's take a look at each picture. We're going to go through these together. Just say it out loud. If you have a whiteboard or a piece of paper and you want to write your adjective with your noun, even make a sentence with it, that would be super fun and a great way to practice. But together we're just going to say it. So let's take a look at our cupcake there. One thing that's really fun about this is not colored in, and so we could even think of, any color that we want. We could say the yellow cupcake, the yummy cupcake, the delicious cupcake. We could go on and on and on describing the cupcake. So I want you to think of an adjective on your own of the cupcake. Our next one, we see a cat. Again, I can think of lots of adjectives here. The fluffy cat, the gray cat, the silly cat. Most of you have heard my Mittens stories of my gray cat who is super silly and super mischievous. So I could call him the mischievous cat if this was a picture of Mittens. If you have a cat at home, I'm sure you guys have lots of words that you could use to describe your cat. All right, moving on to our hats. The first thing that popped in my head is that looks like a party hat. So party is one of those words that's typically a noun, but in this case, if we say party hat, then that would be our adjective. So I might say we wore a party hat. My party hat is purple and yellow if I wanted to color or draw my party hat. All right, I see a grill and some smoke. My dad cooked some delicious hamburgers on the grill. The hot grill cooked our food. Any word there to describe the grill or something that you're cooking on the grill. All right, that next line, I see a palm tree. The beautiful palm tree swayed in the wind. So our adjectives are going to give us some rich vocabulary. It's going to help us visualize. If you are the author or the writer of a story, you want to add in those adjectives so that the reader can picture and visualize exactly what you're talking about. We see the butterfly. I'm seeing a lot of butterflies out in my yard these days, so I'm thinking about color words here. The beautiful butterfly flew in my garden. The yellow and black butterfly lit on the flower. And we see a dinosaur. We can talk about, think about size words when we're talking about dinosaurs. The big dinosaur roared loudly. My little brother was a green dinosaur for Halloween. And then our last picture there, we see an igloo. So I'm definitely using my imagination here, but I'm going to throw in the adjective cold or icy or freezing. So I might say the cold igloo was a home to the penguins. Or I could say I saw a huge igloo in the book about Antarctica. So we want to make sure that we are able to identify adjectives using our questions. We know that adjectives describe a noun, and we also know that we need to add in those adjectives when we are writing to make our writing come alive and to help our reader be able to visualize exactly what we mean when we're writing a story. So those questions are going to be super helpful. Go ahead and watch the next video about adverbs so that we can make sure that we know the difference when we're classifying the difference between adjectives and adverbs.